not exist to be nice on the eyes for you.
Enough from the clowns.
Here is Morgan Webb, who is one of the hosts of X-Play. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the business?
I actually started on a network called Tech TV, and we did a show called Screensavers, which is about technology, and so I started on that show doing computer help and showing people how to put their computers together and doing Windows tips and that kind of thing. So when there was a spot on X-Play, I jumped at it.
Okay, awesome. Do you like the technical side better, or do you like being on camera and presenting, news and all that stuff?
Well, you're always going to have a bit of the technical side in your work because as a gamer, you're going to be putting your computer together and taking it apart, trying to figure out why it's not working, and then trying to get new RAM, that kind of thing. So as a gamer at this point, you're always involved in the technical side, and sometimes that's so frustrating because you just want to play your game, and you're busy spending 4 hours trying to fix your computer.
My name is Morgan Webb, and I host a TV show on G4 TV, and it's called X-Play, and we cover the world of video games. We do reviews, we do developer interviews, previews, news, all that kind of stuff. Actually, sort of strayed away from tabletop games because I would play with my brother, and he would just beat the shit out of me. And God, that pissed me off when I was a kid. I feel like I'm a better loser now. I mean, we just lost pandemic, and I haven't torn that up yet. Playing as many video games as I do, writing reviews of video games, having as much experience in the video game industry as I do, sometimes it actually takes away from my experience in the game because instead of sitting there enjoying how immersive the world is, I am analyzing gameplay elements.
There's been controversy surrounding video games ever since I was a little kid. I remember people were like, oh, they're going to rot your brain and all that, spend all your money on it. But some people said they increase hand-eye coordination. If you trace back the history.
There's always excuses, everywhere. But of course, one of the first most controversial video games was called Custer's Revenge. And it was from the Atari 2600, and you play Custer wearing nothing but a hat and boots, and you see everything. You can see it right there. And the goal is to avoid the arrows and then have sex with a Native American woman who's tied to a pole.
That's terrible. I mean, that's really wrong on so many different levels.
He's happy now.
I guess so. Custer was really well hung. He was a terrible soldier.
He was.
But very well hung.
And you can imagine people got very upset about this, from Native American groups to women's groups who were objecting about
was this
rape.
game like, what was this, like 1982? Was this
like
a
1980
hit?
something.
Did people actually play this game?
It was not that good of a game, and you couldn't really buy it anywhere. It was, no one would remember it except for that it was very controversial, but you couldn't buy it anywhere. The company that made it got tied up in court. They made 2 more X-rated video games, and they went under because people kept suing them.
There was more X-rated video games back then with like that kind of graphics?
They made 2 more of that.
Wow, people must have been really excited back then about that kind of thing, because that was really hot.
You think about geek culture becoming mainstream like it is with this film and with everything like between tech and comics?
The small, insignificant, spiteful part of me is like, we have been here all along screaming that this is popular and people like this. This is not just for kids. And, for so long people have been like, that's for kids. And it's been our problem. It's been our fight. Now all of a sudden, it's their problem if they don't understand video games and comic books and geek culture. Now it's so mainstream that you seem out of touch if you don't know about it. So it's an interesting transition. The spiteful part of me is like, I was here first, and then the not spiteful, more reasonable part of me is like, you know what, it's great that everybody who actually really does enjoy this is feeling really able to express themselves and say, like, I like comic books, and not be embarrassed about it, and be happy about it, and be proud that they, really enjoy that kind of literature.
Good morning.
One of the sexy babes of Tech TV. First of all, tell me what X-Play is about.
Well, it's a video game show, and we do a lot of reviews of video games. We also focus a lot on gaming culture, and we just like to have a lot of fun with it, because, video games are fun.
Now, how did you get into this? Have you always been a video game gal growing up? Did you always play games?
Well, my mother, bless her heart, bought us an Atari 2600. I think she bought it for herself, actually, because she played it just as much as we did, but that kind of started my brother and I on this path to video games. Tech TV has a lot of very attractive women, so they decided to have a poll on Playboy.com, and it's sort of, so the viewers can get to pick who they like the best.
And if they win, if you pick you, what do you get?
Well, then you're offered to pose on Playboy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.